Howdy boys, Paul with you here today. Wanted to talk about a weird subject called what's the real difference between new and old trucks. I know, some of you are going to fall off your chairs and be like, Paul, did you get hit in the head today or something? No guys, I don't really want to talk about it, and here's the reason why. Guys out there are either just driving old trucks or they're driving new trucks. So the new guy is probably saying, well, I don't want that loud, obnoxious, slow piece of turd. Something along the lines of that. And then the guy that's driving the old truck saying, well, I don't want them payments. I don't want that DEF headache. So, I mean, you could go back and forth on that all day. There's just not a lot of fellas out there that drive both. I know there's some, but not a lot. Specifically, what we're doing today is pulling a trailer. I know it looks empty, but there's about, well, you can sort of see back there. There's about not quite six, about 5,000 pounds worth of steel and a little bit of lumber back there. So, back to what I was saying. You know, besides the obvious, let's get that out of the way. I mean, the new trucks, they got payments, they're great. Theoretically, they're less pain in the neck, or they're supposed to be less problems. And in some cases, they're not. In most cases, they are less problems. In most cases. Now, the old truck, theoretically, should be cheaper and all that. Not in all cases. A lot of you guys that run old trucks need to realize how much you're spending on parts. Now, I'm not talking about hauling your rear end around. I'm saying working both trucks. And once again, you guys are going to start screaming, yeah, Paul, that's a no-brainer. There ain't much meat left on an old truck. And, you know, let me underline this. My regulars know I usually drive a 19 Ram 3500, limited, all the bells and whistles. But I don't have that truck anymore. All my trucks are being used, so this is what I'm stuck with, a 99 Ford F350 6-speed manual. Or that manual stick right there, 6-speed manual. So, let me talk about the differences, the most important ones that not a lot of guys get to not a lot of guys have the opportunity to drive both. Usually just two groups, you know, the guys that are driving new trucks, typically that's all they drive, and the guys driving old trucks, typically that's all they drive. And they're one saying, hey, I don't want headaches with payments, and the other one's saying, well, I don't want to deal with broken down truck, which isn't quite true all the time. I'm DF and EGR systems pretty finicky as well. But anyways, besides the obvious, a guy that owns both, a guy that works both, underlining works both, not just hauling your tail around. Here's the biggest one, guys. Biggest one is I consider it marginally unacceptable to haul loads without an exhaust brake. First things first, I could almost categorize these old trucks as unsafe, especially in the Pacific Northwest. There's a lot of hills. I know there's worse ones out there in Canada, and we're not Colorado guys. I mean, there's passes everywhere. But the bottom line is, you're coming down a steep grade and you don't have an exhaust brake. You're either, I think they're called jab braking, like jab braking, like you're jabbing your brakes. You know, you hit the brakes for a few seconds, you let them off, let them cool off, and you do that. You don't ride your brakes all the way down the hill. Any formula you use, you're heating up them brakes pretty hard. So, first things first, no exhaust brake, which makes it fairly unsafe, guys. We have like high-end rotors, high-end brake pads. No, not the lifetime warranty high-end stuff. I'm talking about specifically for fleet usage, specifically for made for towing, rotors, pads. Keep in mind, this truck has rotors front and back on the brake system, so the brake system is fairly decent. The issue isn't the brake system. The issue here, the engine isn't helping the brake system slow down. So that's my biggest thing that's going to come to mind when you're working these things and you're going downhill. Guys, going uphill, you can be patient, man. You're in control. You drop a gear, you know, instead of maintaining 65, you're doing 60 up the hill. Ain't no big deal, you know, driving this old truck. It's much slower. Guys, to my surprise, this thing's really fuel efficient. I don't know how and when this Ford got so fuel efficient, but I'm very surprised. I might do a video on that later once I get the exact numbers for my trip. But anyways, next thing is, I sort of mentioned it. A lot of, you know, one of the group of the guys that are driving the old trucks are screaming, oh, DEF and all that shebang on the new trucks and payments. And the guys with the new trucks are screaming, you know, what I spoke about. Guys, it comes to P or P. That's what I call. That's what my answer is. A lot of guys ask me, when it comes to big rigs, should you buy a semi, you know, brand new or used, or which way? There's a lot of explanation for that, but the bottom line is it's P or P. So take your pick. Either you're doing parts or payments. There's just nothing in between. It's just, you know what I mean? Just let's take this vehicle for example. It's more convenient for me to do parts on this vehicle than payments. Sometimes it sits for months on end. Sometimes it doesn't stop for months on end. So it's a Ford, and it has cost me a lot of money. I wish I was doing all that parts into a Ram, but let's leave that topic alone. Bottom line is, that's it. You know what I mean? You guys could be raving how much you've driven your truck, you haven't put $1 into it. Guys, work your truck every day and see how far you get with your old truck and not putting $1 into it. It's just a part of the deal. I mean, I'll show you the odometer on this thing. 347. That's the odometer off of the truck that I took the engine from. The engine's the most important thing to me because, bro, the frame, the doors probably have about 600,000. The transfer case has about 450. The rear end has the same mileage as this, came off the donor. The transmission has 100,000. I don't care about all that stuff. I care about the engine. How long is this engine gonna last? I presume these 7.3s should last 400,000 to 500,000. At least that's how much my first one lasted. This engine I got out of, speeding there. This engine I picked out of a really clean donor, so hopefully this engine lasts well. I mean, it's pulling good, you know, for a 7.3, but back to the topic, guys. The new trucks, you know, I covered the old trucks a little bit, how that group of guys say, oh, you know, I've done so much, you know, put on so many miles and I haven't put much money into my truck. If you have a healthy old truck, you're still leaning towards spending less money. You're still on top is what I'm saying. And that is true. You know, have yourself a healthy truck to begin with. And you're mechanically inclined, you will be ahead. I won't argue that. But on the new side, those guys saying, oh, you know, I don't want to be stuck on the side of the road. Hey, man, that DF crap could put you right there on the side of the road. I don't want to talk much about it as far as DF because they're so finicky. I mean, some go for a lot and others just throw you on the crapper. I need to share with you guys, one of my 19s was in the shop for a month and a half. In the dealership. I think they fixed it. I think. I'm not even so sure they fixed it, but that's a story of its own. Brand new truck, 50 or 60,000 miles on the clock, and it's in the dealership for a month and a half. You think Ram's gonna come out and pay my bill? No, they are not gonna pay my bill. Was it the first time that truck was in the shop? No, it was the fourth time that truck was in the shop for that specific reason. Chrysler need to get their crap together. Ram, whoever you are, on the backside there. And while I'm on that topic, couple of the dealerships, the first two dealerships, oh sir, don't worry, we're gonna reset your check engine light. I'm like, no, you gotta fix it. There's something wrong with it. You know, it has warranty. Let's try to use this warranty. And I keep shooting myself in the foot. I keep saying I don't rely on warranties, and here I am giving warranty a second chance, and it just shot me right in the foot again. Just forget it, man. That warranty crap don't work. Ram, if you're listening, please reach out to me. I will put my email. Reach out to me and let me know what you can do for me, because a month and a half on the Ford turnaround is alone month and a half. I have total about two and a half months lost with that issue. First couple dealerships were really quick in and out. They didn't want to deal with anything. They didn't want to really work on anything. So anyways, back to the subject, guys. It just comes down to safety. New or old. You know, climbing the hill is great, new versus old. Coming down the hill is not great. It's not an option. Why do I still run a truck without an exhaust brake? For the most part, I try to keep this thing local. For the most part, yes, it leaves town, and I'm very careful to who drives this truck, because a regular Joe could just either fry the rotors or cause a lot of issues on the road. What I mean by issues is an accident. So guys, it just comes down to safety now, not your crash ratings. Anyway, so it's coming from a guy that works the truck, man. And here's the obvious, and I will wrap up the video. It is loud. It is slow. It is annoying in a lot of cases. But if you have the patience and you're not in no hurry, the old truck's not an issue. Did I say the old truck or the new truck? I meant to say the old truck is not an issue. I mean, I could drive this thing. I got no problem. Well, I have a problem right now. My AC went crap. And this kind of stuff you got to deal with the old trucks. You know what I mean? Your AC takes a crap middle of the day at 88 degrees outside. Well, that's not bad. That's not so bad. 88's not bad at all, you know? Some places is 108 or maybe 128. I'd be singing a different tune there. Probably park the dang thing and go to the hotel. But anyways, guys, it's just part of the deal, you know? Your chances are a lot higher to not be on the side of the road in a new truck, is what my underlining is. Your chances are a lot higher not to be involved in an accident, which is a big deal when you're running a company. So new truck's the way to go, boys. And if for every reason you don't use a truck day in and day out every day, and the old truck is a way as well. If you're mechanically inclined and you start out with a good truck, you'll be alright. Gee, Paul, why do you still have this old truck? Guys, I don't want to say probably, I'm well over $30,000 into this truck outside of regular maintenance. You know, purchase price and what I've put into this truck ever since. You know, just as I said, it's one of those trucks, I guess I like it. That's why it's still around. It's given me a lot of issues, but I guess not enough for me to put it up in flames. What I mean by that is sell it. But anyways, boys, I better focus on the road. I want to share that with you. It's those fine little details that average Joe's not going to have the opportunity to be able to experience and test it for someone underlying. You know, everything looks great and gravy and fabulous from the sidelines, and how wonderful someone's old truck is. And I still do see guys hot-shotting with their old trucks, you know, pulling RVs, pulling goosenecks, that kind of stuff. So that's why I brought it up. There's still guys out there running. There ain't nothing wrong. It's just you got to know what you get yourself into. That's the biggest thing. The biggest thing is brakes, guys. Anyways, I'm going to wrap it up. As always, may the Lord bless you. May you all mighty fine day. In the comment section, let me know what other videos you guys want to hear about this old truck. A little sneak peek. I got to give you guys more detail what happened to my new truck. Shortly, I got, short version, I got offered really good money for it. I let it go, ordered me a mega cab. So now I'm waiting for a mega cab. It's a matter of about a month and a half, too, is what I'm guessing. The Lord only knows how long that one's going to take. Anyways, boys, God bless you. Ciao, bye.